I've had solar panels on my home here in Los Angeles for over 5 years. Now that I'm in the industry, there are definitely a few things I wish I knew before I got them. But have I gotten my money's worth, and what would I change if I could? Hi, I'm Tom with Premier Roof Solar. I've been helping homeowners save money on their power bills for the last 5 years with renewable energy. And before that, I got solar on my home without knowing anything about it.
I wish I knew.
This is my experience with solar over the last 5 years. Today we'll cover what I have and why. We'll take a deep dive into the numbers, see if it's been worth it, and see what I would change if I could do it over again. So first things first, what do I have? A 4.73 kilowatt size system, which is 15 Logi panels at 315 watts per panel, plus 15 IQ6 N-phase microinverters, with a total production of 6,535 kilowatt hours per year, which was 94% of my historical usage. That usage was 6,952 kilowatt hours per year. In terms of location, my panels are mostly facing east, slightly southeast. They're not on the prime ideal roof plane because my wife didn't want any panels facing the street. Which is fine. Paying cash for the system at the time was $18,447. Minus the tax credit, that was $12,912. You may be wondering how the tax credit works. I'll have a separate video explaining that, so check the links in the description below. Now, in terms of payment, I went with a power purchase agreement or a PPA. The reason I did that is because the first two companies I checked with were really pushing a cash option with a return on investment of 18 to 20 years, which just didn't make sense to me. I had actually given up on the idea of solar at the time until someone I knew mentioned that there were monthly payment plans for solar. I didn't go with a loan because we were in the middle of a home equity line of credit for some upgrades that we wanted to do on the inside of our house. I also didn't want to have another debt. That HELOC plus the solar loan would have been a lot of money to have as a debt. And the PPA didn't affect my ability to qualify for the HELOC because the PPA is just like paying a utility bill. It's not a debt against your credit. Next, I'll give you a full detailed breakdown of my numbers. But before that, if you're considering solar and you want to learn more, or if you already started looking and you want to get more quotes to compare, click the link in the description below. Okay, so here are my numbers. My total production since I got it is about 35,400 kilowatt hours. In terms of payment, they started me out at 14 cents per kilowatt hour, which amounted to about $76 a month. That's 14 cents on that 6,535 kilowatt hours per year. By comparison, LADWP at the time was about 20 cents per kilowatt hour. So with no solar, my average bill was about $115 a month. With solar, I was paying the $76, but since it wasn't supposed to cover 100%, there was still a little bit that I had to pay to LADWP, which would have been about $92 a month. My usage went up though, to about 8,057 kilowatt hours. Luckily, my solar was overproducing at 7,548 kilowatt hours for that same period. So I used a lot more, but I also overproduced. There was still a little bit I had to pay to LADWP. Since I didn't get charged more for that overproduction, I actually paid about 12 cents per kilowatt hour that first year on the solar side. The total bill was still about $92 a month, despite me using 1,100 more kilowatt hours than I was before. My year one savings was about $672. Year two was about $700. Year three, a lot of things changed. We had a second child plus COVID, so now there was 3 adults in the home, all day using way more electricity. That was about 10,526 kilowatt hours for that year. My system was still overproducing though, at 7,498 kilowatt hours. The difference I still had to pay to LADWP was about $58 a month. My solar at the time was $83 a month. It had gone up because I'm on an escalator. More on that later. So my total bill was about $141 a month on average. Without solar, it would have been $202 a month on average. So year three, I saved another $731. In year four, I saved another $683. And then this past year, we made some more changes. We got new windows in the whole house so we could insulate better and use less air conditioning. That dropped the usage to a little over 9,000 kilowatt hours per year. The production was just shy of 7,000 kilowatt hours. My total energy bill was $126 a month on average. Without solar, it would have been $180 a month. So year five, my savings was $660. Total savings over the 5 years has been $3,443. That's not too bad in my opinion. That being said, now that I'm in the industry, there are definitely a few things that I would change. Number one, I'd get more panels as a buffer for any future consumption. I see that all the time now. People wish they got more panels because they started using more electricity. Number two, I'll shop around to see if I could find a better monthly rate plan. As a quick recap, I was originally quoted 14 cents per kilowatt hour. Luckily, I paid less because my system was overproducing, but I was put on an escalator of 2.9% per year. That's still less than LADWP. After all, right now I'm still paying about 14 cents per kilowatt hour with solar since it's been overproducing, while LADWP is up to 25 cents per kilowatt hour from the 20 cents when I first got solar. But if I would have shopped around more, I would have been able to find a rate that was about the same to what I got, but on a fixed plan. And number three, not switching to time of use when I first got solar. When you get solar and you have LADWP as your power company, your bill starts to look different. It looks like you have peak, off-peak rates on there, but unless you specifically applied for it, you're not on a full time of use plan. I'll have have another video as a walkthrough that shows you how to do that. So what do you think? You want to get solar on your home? If you want to learn more about it, or if you want to get another quote to compare, be sure to click the link below in the description.